Yeah, I like that, man. Shout out to my boy, Mo Sizzle. Revive your mind, revive your world. ReVibe Nation, what is up? ReVibe Ray here with ReVibeNow.com and the ReVibe Nation Podcast. Super hyped to be with you guys, man. We are rocking and rolling. We got a jam-packed show. I don't know how I'm going to fit everybody in, Sean. Whoa. First of all, let's get my guy Sean in here real quick. Sean Baker, the owner and CEO of Sean Baker Films, riding shotgun with me today live. You're in New York, right, brother?
Yeah, I'm in New York.
All right. What's up, man? It's looking hazy over there, man.
I know. I've been trying to figure. It look crazy, right?
It's looking. Hey, look, it's okay. It's just
sunlight.
It's just a
kind of like not on my side right now.
So you don't get down with the burn like some of us do, but it's just a vape. It's all good. How you doing, brother? Good to have you on riding shotgun, co-host with me today. How's it going?
Man, everything's going well, man. Just had to rebrand my studio, man, and so I remember when I was going.
I saw the teaser, yeah.
Yeah, so we switched it from Sean Baker Films to Sean Baker Studios. From there, we just got mad projects that we got going on. We just finished the Double Dealings project, so.
Yep. And we're going to get into Double Dealings, guys. You will see the trailer, the pre-trailer, teaser trailer for Double Dealings. It's going to be awesome. More work coming in that the ReVibe team is going to be a part of, guys. So be on the lookout for that. We're excited for that. Sean's going to get into that. Again, big show today, guys. So who's in today, Sean? We got Mo Safren checking in today. Who else we got? DVC Schmur, our partner in crime, Mike Avjan, will be on checking in with us here in a second. And a good buddy of mine, VA-based rapper, young guy who's killing it right now. We're going to check in with him. He's down in Florida doing some promo work. My guy, Dusty Rios from up here in Virginia. He's killing it. So we're going to tap in here today with all of the crew. We got a big show. So what are we talking about today, right? Because, I always like to mention ReVibe Nation that, I learned the vibe wrong, right? So when I became an entrepreneur, when I started my entertainment company, I didn't know anything. I learned everything wrong. I learned it from the wrong people. And my Heavenly Father was able to bless me with a second go at it. And that's why we're here with the ReVibe. So what we want to do is we want to get into some mindset. All right, we're going to take examples from some of our guests today. We're going to get into some mental health talk with our guy, Mike, DVC Schmur, who's checking in here, my partner at Americana's Clothing. So we'll get it locked in with him. But big conversation with our guest / co-host today, my man Sean Baker in the building. You know what I'm saying? So very happy to have Sean in. Got a wealth of knowledge coming out of this young man from an entrepreneurial standpoint, and he's going to give us some insight into kind of what the happenings are for all of you folks out there that's looking to get into the film industry. So, and coming from a kind of a mom and pop mindset, he's going to shed some insight onto how you can get started and kind of what he's seen and how he's made some of the moves he's making. So the topic for today, guys. Not
to mention, sorry, Ray, not to mention, but these are some great topics. Like when you was giving the list down the line, I was like, man, it's gonna be a good show.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great talk. I can't wait to hear from you. And it just ties into what the overall theme is today, guys. So the overall theme is effective decision making, right? I'm going to be coming from a certain place, but some of our guests are going to be coming from a different avenue that you may be able to relate to, right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. And I want to jump in with a quick shout out to my alma mater, Radford University. They invited the basketball team back down for basketball alumni weekend. Thank you, Coach Nichols, the Nichols brothers, head coach and assistant coach down at Radford University. Thank you for bringing us back down. Thank you to Radford University president and alumni chair, and to my guy, Brandon Jackson, hooking us up with the courtside, experience. That was awesome. Hooking me and my family up with the exclusive tickets. We had a blast. Basically, Sean, we got recognized at halftime It was a beautiful thing. Got to see some of my collegiate teammates, two of my guys that I ran with down at Radford. We had a blast. So shout out Radford University. We had a blast, and just to segue in, it's crazy, right, Sean? So like when I came out of high school, right, I didn't really know, what I knew, what I know now, right? So it's like, man, I definitely wanted to hoop. I was a big time, high school player. But in retrospect, it's like, man, I wish I would have, kind of laid some options out a little different, right? So it's like when I made this decision, it was more like, yo, I want to go D1. I want to make sure my name is out there. They're going to respect me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I felt like I was looked over a lot. I was competing for scholarships just like the rest of the athletes in our region. But nonetheless, it all worked out. The Heavenly Father blessed me to get down and play a couple seasons down at Radford. But it all worked out, brother. And here's why. Because even though my basketball collegiate career was limited to 2 seasons, I didn't play the full 4. I only played 2. I was still able to get my degree, right? I was still able to complete my education, which was 50% of that decision of why I went to Radford, right? Because there was only 2 other schools. There was only 2 other schools that really had my field of study, right?
Okay.
And one of them I wasn't being looked at for basketball, like not at all, right? And then the other one I was kind of being looked at, but there was another player out of my county that was really, really good, and he went there. So it all worked out, right? So I took that down and had a blast. So I tell everybody it was the best 4 years I don't remember. We party hard down there at RU. The saying goes is you can't spell drunk without RU, and that is a fact.
That's a fact.
It was 4 years. It's like a 4-year music festival, man. Like I'm not even making that up. Like no, like exaggeration. But nonetheless, I had a blast, and thank you to RU and the Alumni Association, Brandon Jackson, all you guys that's working hard on behalf of the Alumni Association. It's motivated me to get back involved. So I'm going to reach back out to the people there, and hopefully I can come down and talk to the guys, talk to the young guys. And also shout out to my fraternity down there who are doing some good things. Theta Chi Incorporated, you guys are doing some good things. Not a historical Black fraternity, Sean. We didn't have those at the time while I was down there on the campus. So I just pledged one of the regular frats that were there. But shout out to my young guys, my young bros at Theta Chi. You guys were doing a great job, and proud of you guys. How they were able to bounce back from COVID, get their numbers back up. So they're doing a good job. I'll be definitely down there to help those guys out and hopefully work with the basketball team a lot more. So that was a lot of fun. Shout out Radford University and to all of the Coach Nichols. Radford's on the move right now. They're doing a great job.
Thanks. Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to them. So again, decision making, right? So I come from a train of thought where I kind of have 2 train of thoughts, right? I'm an intellect over emotion guy, right, Sean? So I'm really going to go with what's logical versus what I feel. And that's kind of tough to do sometimes. Right. But then I also have this train of thought where if I have multiple options, I'm the type that says like, fuck it. I'm just going to do all of it, right? Like I'm just going to go in for all of it. If I can't figure out which one to do, I'll just do all of them.
Right. Do you think sometimes that can hurt you in the midst of it, trying to go for all? Or
yeah, so absolutely, and it absolutely, especially if you try to do it all at one time, right? So I think and that's why certain decisions had to be made along the way, right? You got to prioritize. So that's what it breaks down to. You got to prioritize which one of the all needs to happen sooner rather than later. And give yourself deadlines. That was a big one. that I really had to focus on. But Sean, you're in an industry, right? And before we get into the meat of it, right? Like you're dealing with personnel, you're dealing with individuals on a routine basis that you have to really count on, right? So from a personnel standpoint, how do you go about working with certain people? This is a big one, guys. So definitely listen in. ReVibe Ray, ReVibe Nation, welcome. We have Sean Baker Studios, killing it. So Mo Safren coming up in a second, but go ahead, Sean. Just working with people. How do you go about it?
So working with people, I tend to, because for one, I feel like it's never been a situation with me where I had to work with somebody that was super difficult. If I do find myself working with somebody that is like super difficult, I'll probably just try to like, whoever's the second in charge. If them two people have a better relationship, then I just let them two deal with each other at that point. However, if I have to deal with it head on, then I'll just I would be more intellect, how you said earlier, a little bit more intellectual over, like the intellect over emotion. So I would never let my emotion get control of what we have to do and what's the end goal. So I'll just deal with it like accordingly.
And it's a leadership thing too, right? It's like exactly. when you're working with teams and building teams, and I'm saying from a basketball coach standpoint, I'm looking for players that want to lead, right? So I can have somebody to lean on and count on, and then you go about building other leaders. There's a quote that I say often is leadership is not about having followers. It's the tedious process of building new leaders, right?
Yeah.
So you got to have that type of mindset dealing with people for sure. And the intellect over emotion part is, I think, where so many folks, kind of get tied up in, right? Because they're choosing certain things based on how they feel in that moment. So it's very hard to really, I don't know, process and rationale, with
to make a rational decision. To make a rational decision, because if you don't know your emotions, you might feel one way one day, and the next day you might not feel that way, but the decision is already made. So now at that point, you can't necessarily step back or go back and redo what you already done. So, yeah,
it's crazy because I look back at so many situations. I look back in so many missed opportunities I had just because, I'm caught up in, how am I going to look? Do I have everything, up to snuff? Are people going to know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's a big one.
And are people aware of, I may be in fake it to make it mode, you know what I'm saying? Like, do I really have to prove myself in this situation? I think back to my party throwing days, running through DC, killing it, you know what I'm saying? Bringing, hundreds of people out to, just to have a good time. And one thing that I didn't like about it was almost this showmanship, right? So when I was making decisions, I was willing to sacrifice certain values that I had, instilled in me, in order to, produce this persona of quote unquote Archie, my scene name. When I was in the music and when I was in the DJing, I went by Archie. So to put on this persona, I sacrificed certain, morals and values that, I cared about myself. So it was very important. It was very important. And this is a good segue because my guy, Mo Safren, is in right now. I'm excited for this young man. And so we're going to bring Mo in. He's got some good stuff for us add to stage. There is my guy, Mo. Are you here with us on ReVibe Nation?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
All right, fantastic. Do me a favor, brother. If you can go widescreen with your phone, that would be fantastic.
Widescreen.
Beautiful.
Damn.
Perf. Man, you are looking good. Florida looks good on you, brother. Yes, sir. So, Mo, I told you we're so glad to have you on today. We're talking about decision making today, Mo, right? Obviously, you've made some major decisions in your career and in your life, and you've just recently made one. And I hope, and I would like for you to kind of go back to Los Angeles. I think that's an important one for you too. But overall, obviously, I know you got some great things that you want to share with us today. But for the sake of our topic today, I know you're kind of like me. You're a rational logic type of guy, would make sense. But I know you kind of flip the coin on some things too, right? So take us back to Los Angeles, Morris, and what was that decision making for you? Again, Mo, you're here with Sean Baker. He's co-hosting with me today.
Hey, Mo, what's going on, man?
Long
time no speak, man.
Yep. So I know you guys remember each other from back in the way day. But Mo, take us back to LA real quick. Rationale, thought-making decisions on that, and how that's kind of put you into place for today, Mo and Mary Mac in Florida.
Okay, so LA was 2015.
Woo!
I graduated college. I know, time flies. I graduated from Shenandoah University in 2013. Graduated a semester early, actually, throw that in there. And then I spent a year in Richmond after college. And then there was pretty much a burning desire in me to do the whole New York, LA thing. And I kind of had that philosophy of, if you're going to live it up in your 20s. Yeah. So that was my mindset. And now 32, about to be 33 in March. That's exactly what I did.
Oh, man.
I lived it up in my 20s. Life has slowed down since then, and you know, different strategies nowadays. But so that was kind of my mindset going to LA, and pretty much had a couple $100 to my name. Went out there and just winged it, had fun, linked with a lot of people, learned a lot, had some crazy experiences. Felt like I lived like 10 years there, but it was really only 2, and felt like I got out at the perfect time too. So
that was more of an emotional based decision, right? That was more like, I'm in the moment, I'm feeling confident, I'm feeling great, I want to go explore, you know, the world, quote unquote, and essentially yourself. So that was more of an emotional decision. I think fast forward to the Mo Safren today would be a little different, right?
Yeah. Still, you know, Pisces crew right here.
All of us are Pisces, actually. We're all Pisces, actually.
Oh, okay. We're yeah. So I still act that way to this day. But obviously, I've learned a lot from my experiences, and I go about things differently now. But and more strategy to it nowadays.
Right.
But yeah, I go with the flow. I always have, and yeah. What else? Ask me more.
Yeah, obviously, we want to pick your brain. There's so many artists out there who are working hard in the industry. Sean, obviously, back in your heyday when you were killing it out there in the scene as a recording artist, you understand this very well as well. But so break down what, real quick, Mo, break down like what your thought process is. Say you have an opportunity ahead of you, and then you may have other things going on. How do you go about prioritizing what needs to be done, you know, say intermediate, short term versus what you need to accomplish for yourself, your brand, long term?
Really, my focus right now is performing live and getting better and continuing to grow my brand. So really, my focus is booking shows, and I've been doing that self-booking for the last 5 years, and I'm always trying to do it in new ways too. So that's what brought me and Mary Mac, my partner, who I've been making music with for the last year and a half or so. We decided we need to get out and travel the world. So we booked a 5-month tour in Florida, and hence the palm trees in the back. That's what we doing.
I will be down there soon, I promise. And that's crazy. So back in season 1 of ReVibe Nation Podcast, we were basically talking about how you were setting this up, getting those shows in and booking for yourself. You're self-managed, right? So
yes,
you're in control. You're doing what you want to do, but also doing what you need to do. Mo, what's coming up for you? Where are the shows at? What's the new music? What you got?
So next week or so, this Saturday, we're playing at I think it's a new festival. It's in West Palm Beach. It's called Pluridian, Pluridian. I think at pluridian.com. Google
right, we'll
it.
get all the information from you and load it up.
Word. So we're playing that Saturday. We're going to debut the album performance, because we do have the Mo and Mary Mac debut album releasing February 16th. That's next Friday.
Great.
And we will also be playing at a place in South Miami called Tea and Poets.
Okay.
And that we're actually going to do like an album release performance there February 16th, Friday at Tea and Poets.
Fantastic. I still need to plug you in with my guy in Boca to make sure that happens. So make sure you stay on my phone and remind me.
Yeah, actually, let's try to make that happen.
Okay, yeah. So I'll definitely get that in. And Mo, it's just been beautiful to see your journey. I mean, I've just been so proud of you, man. And it's been great to see you're in Florida. I mean, I'm sure, Sean, you're jealous up there in New York. You're like, you're heated right now.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sitting here looking at Mo.
Did you have anything?
I'm sitting here looking at Mo shirtless with the palm trees and inside the pool. I'm like, oh man, I wish I could be out there, man.
Sean, did you have a question for Mo?
It's really not that warm right now, believe it or not.
Your shirt's off, so
this is more of a cold plunge for me.
Right.
This is a cold plunge.
Got you.
Hey, Sean, did you have any questions for Mo before we get him out of here?
Got you. So Mo, like as a recording artist, like what's some difficulties that you had, like in terms of like on your road to where you are now, in terms of whether it's booking shows, whether it's getting great quality music out, or like what was some of the things that you had to face to get to where you are now in terms of booking shows and etc.
A lot of it is really just battling with myself. And like as far as production goes, I've struggled my whole career, been doing this 10 plus years. And early on in the career, a lot of it was influenced by other people who were kind of mentoring me. And you know how the old story goes, it needs to sound like this.
Like that. You can do it like that.
I've struggled with that. But now I feel like I'm really getting to a good place where I'm happy with what I'm producing in my own little home studio. And it was really just getting to that point, continuing to release songs and work on my craft in the studio to be at a place where I'm happy with the songs I'm releasing. For the most part, it's all self-produced, but over the years, I've like, I need to get this produced in Nashville. I need to get this guy. I need someone to mix and master, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, what I'm making is just as good, if not as good as what I'm paying a lot of money to what these people are making for me. And, nowadays there's so much music out there. The average listener can't even tell the difference. And I'm all about making high quality productions, and I strive to do that. But I mean, there comes a breaking point where you gotta, make a business decision. And now I pretty much self-produced all my music. I'll mention this real quick. On the new Mo and Mary Mac album, there's only one song there's 13 songs, and one of them I had one of my college friends help produce on that.
Right. So everything is self-produced, self-recorded. The quality has been great. And that's the biggest thing that I've appreciated about you, and even working with you, is just your attention to detail, your willingness to go through that process. I mean, it's real easy to just say, oh, that's okay. Oh, that's okay. Let's take our time with it until we get what we want. Mo Safren, thank you for chiming in with ReVibe Nation. It's a blessing. I can't wait to see you down in Florida, brother. We will be making our way down there soon. Do me a favor. I'm going to kick you off, but stay on until I tell you to. Okay. And I'll message you on that. Thank you, brother. We love you.
Thank
this
you.
podcast
Thank you.
Platform has always supported you. We'll continue to support you. We're so proud of you, brother. I'm going to kick you off. Thank you. We got Dusty Rios up next. We got DVC Smurf, Mike Avjon coming up next. Mo, we'll see you when we see you. Love you, brother.
Peace.
You know, when you have examples like that, Sean, and Mo does such a great job with kind of maneuvering throughout the industry, booking his own shows. He works with venue owners. You know, he works with, booking agencies just within his own right. He doesn't rely on somebody to do it, for him. So everything he does, he's making the phone calls. He's reaching out to hire talent to open up for him. That's a big one, right?
And it's so crazy. Like it's so rare that you ever hear artists taking the matters into their own hands and doing them things. So that's actually a great thing that he does, like, do that, because at the end of the day, it's like he's acting as his own record label, his own everything.
Right.
That's dope.
And there's one of my favorite rappers out there that kind of reminds me of this type of mindset is Currency the Hot Spitter, and he was one of the OGs. Sorry, just got a message. Okay. And he was one of the OGs that kind of hopped into a hoopty and just rode around. Let me get Mo off real quick. That just kind of rode around and made it happen. You know what I mean? So Mo kind of has that as well. And, it's been beautiful to see. So when we talk about decision making, right, that's what it's all about, ReVibe Nation, is understanding where you're at in life, understanding what goals you need to hit, and, what works best for you in the given situation, guys, right? You got to stay on top of that. I just was, I was really locked into this article that really kind of spurred it. And it talks about, how your brain kind of functions when it comes to decision making. And there's different things that, you may have to overcome when you're making decisions. Analysis paralysis, right? Like too much overanalyzing things, right? Overconfidence, being too confident in what, you're doing, and you may have missed something, right? Information overload, right? Too much stuff to kind of scatter through when it comes to making a decision, and you miss things. Lack of emotion, lack of hype, and lack of resources, right? I can't do something because how do I do it? Don't have anybody that can do it. And this one's funny. It's the what the hell effect, right? The what the hell, like, not being prepared, right, for certain things.
Yeah.
And I thought that was very interesting because I've been there, right? When you're making business decisions, like you spoke on earlier, is in how you want to work with different people. All this is important. Dusty Rios up in a second. ReVibe Nation, can't wait to chat with this young man. He's got a lot going on. He's actually down in Florida as well right now. We missed the boat. Sean, we missed man. Like,
we missed that boat.
We up here in the cold. I'm in Virginia. It's cold. You in New York. It's cold. I'm shivering. I got the heater running. Man,
I got the hoodie on. Like,
that's all right, but we're working. We're working though.
That's a
fact. Sean, you started. Let's backtrack, right? So you essentially just jumped in the game looking to kind of network, make shake some hands, right? Just get your feet wet to see if it was something that you really wanted to do. But then you eventually made a decision in terms of, okay, this is something that I want to do. So that passion may not have been there at first, right? I'm assuming.
Right. No, you're absolutely right.
Right. But with without talking about your experience, we're going to get that onto the other side of Dusty Rios. What would you say to ReVibe Nation about identifying that passion?
I would say the best thing to do or to understand when you're trying to identify the passion is just basically how do you feel when you're creating? Like
when you're creating, yeah,
yeah,
when
when
your
you're
mind
creating,
is really producing those juices, right?
yeah. So it's like if you feel like it's whatever. Like I think you had mentioned about something about that earlier in terms of saying like, all right, that's okay, that's all right. But when you got that drive and passion behind it, and that fire is burning, whenever you creating something, that means that that's something that you're very passionate about. And I feel like that's what I had when I jumped into the film industry.
And it's an amazing thing to kind of process, because I lost the fire, I lost the passion, I lost the passion. I said, man, this is just not what it's jazzed up to be. Everyone's like, oh, Ray, you should jump back in, you should rap again, you should DJ again, da da da, whoop de whoop. And I was just like, guys, man, like it's just not there. And I had a great run, what I'm saying? I had a great run. I toured the country. I DJ'd in front of hundreds, you know what I'm saying? Like it was great. It was a lot of fun. I found myself compromising, myself in these moments though, right? Like, and you're working with people who, you may not be too familiar with, and it almost gets drained out of you, right? Like, for me, because I was in a position where, I wanted to be, manager, producer, owner, and artist, right?
That's a lot of hats, man.
It was too many hats, brother. So it's like, man, it's just not there for me anymore. And that process sucked it out of me. But what it did on the flip is it showed me the important pieces of industry that I can share with others and teach to others, and let other people that's coming through know. And that's from either side of the coin, whether you want to be an artist, whether you want to be a manager, it doesn't matter. I was able to kind of speak on that. Let me check in on Mike, see how he's doing. Definitely want to get Mike in today. May not get him, but if we don't, it's all good. We got Dusty Rios here in a second. ReVibe Nation. Hope everybody is out there good, getting through January well and into February. I'm excited for the next couple of weeks because we're about to get in season here. So Pisces getting ready to get rocking and rolling, man. It's a big 2024, Sean. We're excited for everything that you are doing. Get Rios loaded. And I think why I wanted to have this conversation today, and specifically with you, is because I know right now I've been on the verge of some big time decisions. And so the theme of what today really is about is intellect over emotion. I think I've had to process 2023 in a way that was really difficult, right? I started a family, right? I had my two little boys who are doing great. And, my partner in crime,
by the way.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that. My significant other is doing a fantastic job holding things down, in the family house is what I like to call it. And really crafting my mindset in three ways, right? I've been having to do what I have to do, like in the immediate time, right? Like I've been having to, say, hey, look, brother, I'm not going to be able to meet up with you. I gotta do something with my boys, or, what I'm saying? And then being able to say, all right, but let's put it out here, right? And make decisions with communication to say, hey, I'm planning this. This is what I'm going to be doing. Here's the time slot that, I'm going to be doing it in. And being able to communicate that with my team, so that's an effective one. That's an effective thing that I've had to do in terms of my decision making. And all of that, right, is in order to get to this the overall goal, right, Sean, is what is that final achievement that I'm trying to get to, which is ReVibe Nation, which is Americana's clothing, and which is getting into the overall picture, which is going to be some of our, leadership conferences, and we're looking forward to that. So my guy, Dusty Rios, is in the building. We're getting ready to bring him in. Dusty has been killing it out there. Good soul, young man, really has gone through it. He's got some new music he's going to share with us today that we're going to feature here on the podcast. So excited about that. Because I'm me, new tracks. Let's see. Dusty's based go ahead and on the stage. Dusty, what's up, brother? Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, I can hear you.
All right, you here with my boy Sean Baker, owner and CEO of Sean Baker Studios, film producer, killing it. He's in New York. Dusty, do me a favor. I need you to take your screen widescreen for me. Can you go widescreen for me?
Yeah.
Brother, man, appreciate that. How you doing, man? You're down in Florida, right?
Yeah, man. I'm in here in Orlando right now, man.
How you out Orlando, man? I got fam down in Orlando, man. Always a good time. We go down to Ocala, get it in down there too. Orlando's good time, man. Look, from back in our smoke shop heyday, man. I was proud of you then just for getting in and getting your feet wet. You and your brother, who's obviously gone on to do some awesome, different, great things. But you kind of manifested your own kind of thing outside of that, which has been great to see. Very excited for that. You got a new track that you're going to tell us about today. So welcome to ReVibe Nation Podcast, man. We're excited to have you. And, it's been good to catch up with you and see you, on your grind and still, producing music, making some good things happen. I love the track. It's like got that old school kind of Bobby flow to it. The video is super vintage. I really like that as well. So welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Dusty, so what is it about, right? So we're talking about making decisions, right? So your effective decision making, what it requires mindset wise, when you're thinking about making moves for your music, what's important to you, how you prioritize, right? So my first question, Dusty, is I think there might have been a period of time where you were like, hey, man, is the music something that I want to pursue? Do I want to keep rocking and rolling with it? Talk to us about that. Kind of what was your thought process? How did you come to the conclusion of, all right, I'm ready to go back at it?
Yeah, man, I guess it's like it comes in waves, man, because like whenever I'm not doing music, I'm out there in the streets doing something I'm not supposed to be doing,
Yeah,
so it's like
we've been there, trust me.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You already know, like when I was younger, man, I was like just straight full on just doing music nonstop for a good like 8-9 years. And then I had a period where like I had dropped a project in like 2020, and I stopped making music, or I was making music, but I wasn't dropping music for like 3+ years. And in those 3+ years, I was just getting into nonstop trouble, hanging out with people I wasn't supposed to hang out with.
It is all good, brother.
Yeah, you already know, man.
We've been there, man. I kick off the show with, why I started the ReVibe Nation Podcast is because, like you and like a lot of us, right? We learned the vibe wrong. Like we learned the initial process into the game wrong. You know what I'm saying? We were listening to people that we shouldn't have been listening to. We should have been listening to the OGs instead of the young Gs, right?
Yeah.
And when they were trying to tell us, get focused, lock in on your craft, figure out what you want to do. But, my Heavenly Father, blessed me with the ReVibe. Okay. So now we get to come back with it and get it done right. And that's what we're doing. So, you go through that process, you go through what you go through. I've been there in and out the streets, in and out of the court system, dealing with that, still dealing with that on the low, but I'm gonna get through that too. But what I'm saying, we're gonna get it done. But dealing with it on a higher level though now, Dusty, what I'm saying? Like we gotta go really beat people in court now, what I'm saying? But God is great. My Heavenly Father is with me. And nonetheless, you go through these circumstances, you have that lull, you say, all right, time to jump back in. What was the spark though? What was the spark?
I think for me, the spark to get back in the studio, man, is because it's like it's like trying to run from a destiny. It's not
Right.
gonna happen. Destiny is gonna reach you one way or the other, and
Hey, I like
it's
how
just
you worded that. That's a very good way to word it
hmm
and put it. You
yeah,
know.
because it's like, you know, I'm not saying I'm the most talented guy, I'm the smartest guy, but I know one thing for sure is that when I'm making music and I'm like really just speaking my thoughts and really just trying to share what I know with other people, I just know that's what I get joy in, and that's where, you know, God wants me to be doing, you know, because like I said, if I'm not doing that, then I'm out there doing something else.
Chances
So,
are.
you know, it's really, it really just say it's saving my life because, you know, a lot of the times, you know, I've leaned on other things to make me feel better in this
Mhm.
life, but really it doesn't, you know, doing it for such a long time and seeing other people I know that are going through the same thing I'm going through, I
Right.
just know I gotta lean on something that doesn't just help me, it helps the people around me and help
Right.
people make the right decisions, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
That's
man.
beautiful, man. And when you look at how we go about making these decisions, right? I feel like it always comes from that spark, right? That channel upwards in chakra. You know, when you're boiling with something, what I like to say in your Lucifer, which is that feeling down in your stomach, that's your Lucifer, right? That's that
Mhm.
fire. That's that you know what I'm saying? Like, but if you're able to kind of channel that energy up the chakra, get it to your first mind, your first mind, I call it your heart, and really process that up to your mind, where you can then now communicate it out and express kind of what those intentions are. It almost like it kind of flashbacks in your face, right? So
Mhm.
when you're feeling in that moment, and Sean, you spoke about this earlier, when you're in that creative, flow, right? It reverberates back on you, right?
Yeah,
So it's
very
like,
much.
man, it's like, oh, now I remember why I'm here, right? Now I
Mm.
understand my flow. Now I get why I'm spitting, and I think that's a good segue. Tell us about the new track, bro.
Oh yeah, man. The new track, I had dropped the project in December, man. I've been holding on to this project for a while, man. But finally, now that I got back in the swing of things, the track's called God's Number. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like
So
a
not the
play
video
on.
you sent me, not the because I'm me jump, not that one.
Nah, the Because of Me is the single. You know
Because the
that
sing,
was
oh, you're saying
yeah
the
the
projects.
old yeah
Say it
that's
again. Say it again, Dusty. I'm
yeah.
sorry. Say it again.
So like the project is called God's Number, but the single is one of the singles is called Because I'm Me,
Yeah,
and you know, a lot of it plays on like the whole, so like why I named that song is because the project, I don't know if you guys are familiar with like the 5% Nation
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff.
yeah.
Of course you guys know. And so what I did is that there was like I think nine tracks on it, and each track stand for one of the lessons. So like the first one is knowledge, the second one is wisdom, the third one is understanding, and it goes all the way down. Like there's a whole thing with it. And then obviously the third track on it was understanding. And you know what I'm saying? And understanding is the mental picture we draw from knowledge and wisdom. So I named it Because I'm Me, and you can hear in the track I'm saying every line has because I'm me. I do this, I act this way, and it's really just
Right.
to like, you know, give people like an understanding of why I am the way I am and why I have the knowledge of self and why I do the things I do, you know? So that's why I thought it was very important to make that song the single, because
Yeah.
it's something everybody should have, you know. Everybody needs to have a little bit of knowledge of self and needs to know why things are the way they are and why they do the things they do, you know. So that's why that song is very important for me. It's not even just for me, man. It's just, you know, it's for other people, you know, to really dig deep and learn about themselves, man. Because a lot of people, we live in an age where we don't live in an age of truth, certainty, and faithfulness. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So a lot of people are out here lost, man. You know,
Yep.
you see it in Virginia, man. A lot of people, you know, I mean, we live in like the place we live is it's kind of suburb like, but I've been to places where it's people are not doing so good, man, and people are really lost in this world.
Losing
So
hope, man.
yeah, so that's why with the music I put a big emphasis on try for people to learn something. I'm not a perfect person, but as you see with all the flaws I have, I want you to be able to take something from that and to better your life and just be better people in society, man. That's why this
That's
music,
absolutely beautiful, man.
yeah.
And I'm going to take it a step further because you said some things that are very near and dear to my heart: wisdom, knowledge, understanding. These are, I'll be frank with you, in certain sects of sects of Christianity. These are what they would call the languages of God, right? This is what essentially he is intending to boil out to the universe, right? These are his basic intentional virtues, right? So that's important stuff that you're speaking on. Secondly, when we look at kind of our home front and why I'm doing what I'm doing, is because I feel like nothing has been jumping since I got out the game, and I want to revive, that scene that we had, man. I know what it was. I could feel it in my hands what it was getting ready to be. Life happens, right? So, but nonetheless, that's what it's about, capturing that. ReVibe Nation, we're here with my guy Dusty Rios in the building. Sean Baker is here with us, CEO, owner of Sean Baker Studios. Dusty Rios in the building, premiering his music with us. We are going to have the Because I'm Me video attached to this podcast. You guys are going to be able to check that out once this goes live and viral. We're excited for that. Dusty, let people know where you're at, your socials. How can we find you? Go.
Yeah, man. On my socials, and you can find all my music. It's Dusty Individual on Twitter and on Instagram, man. I got a link tree in my bio where you can find my YouTube, my projects, all my music there, man. So it's at Dusty Individual, man. You can find
all right.
all that.
And we'll link everything here so people can plug in as well.
Hey, I appreciate it, man.
All right, brother. Do me a favor. I'm gonna go ahead and kick you off my stage. Thank you for coming on.
Hey,
and
but
stay in the app until I tell you to. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, brother. We're gonna catch in with you soon. All right. Keep rocking and rolling. God bless. So look, one thing I'm happy about and why I'm excited about, what the work that we're doing. Give me 1 sec, Sean. I'm gonna plug in my thing here. One thing that I'm just excited about, man, is young guys like Dusty, right? Back in the day, was he sure? Did he have the fire? Did he have the spark? Did he have the passion? I don't think so, man. I just think he was, just a street kid hanging around at my smoke shop. You know what I'm saying? ReVibe Nation, I owned a chain of smoke shops for a few years, managed, then owned, managing partner. But you see that evolution in a young person, right? We were talking about leadership, and to see evolution and then revolution, right, is just a beautiful thing to see. And so we're happy to have Dusty rocking with ReVibe. We'll be doing some work with him down the line, some shows and getting him out on some different things. So excited for that young man and all that he's doing. Let me go ahead and kick him off. You're good to go. Beautiful young man. ReVibe Nation, what is up? ReVibe right here with my guy, Sean Baker, riding shotgun with me today.
No.
Thank you, sir. It's been a great show, man. We've had some great nuggets, some great information today. But I'm excited to have you here with me, brother. It's been a long journey for the both of us, but I'm glad we stuck it out and got to the other side of the river, so to speak. So without further ado, my man, thank you for coming on, co-hosting with me today. This has been a treat. So
and it's my and not to mention, this is my first time ever co-hosting with somebody. So hopefully I'm doing good, man.
Oh man, man, you're good. You're good. We're just glad to have you rocking and rolling. So
So
one of the things that I appreciate is your engagement on social media, right? You're constantly working the outlets. You're getting people familiar with the brands. The response has been great thus far. You also took an escapade to LA, worked the Out the Mud project, kind of put that on the back burner for now. Something great's going to happen with that for sure. But you're here today to talk about double dealings, and you got another project coming up that we're getting ready to lock in with you on. So excited for all the progress with Sean Baker Studios. And when you're in that process of reinventing, right, coming up with a new brand and rebranding, that means growth is happening. That's what that means.
hey,
So,
but Ray, I'm gonna take your word, man. I'm reviving everything.
I mean, that's what it is, and that's what it's all about. You got to revive it, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Even as individuals, that's what we got to go through. So, overall, Sean, your decision to get into the film industry was based on what?
I would say the music industry, to me personally, I kind of just lost my drive for it. I got lost my passion. I lost the fire, and when I was younger, I did get into like acting as a kid. So
Right.
I happened to just like recapture that fire for actual filmmaking because I always was like a visual person. So like when it comes to like videos or anything I was doing in the music industry, it's mainly the videos. So I said, well, how about I just take my eye for creating good videos in the music industry and just create it into a bigger project and make it into a movie. Then I just started screenwriting, and then I kind of like taught myself how to screenwrite, and then from
Right.
there just
That's awesome.
Yeah.
When you get on the set, right, and you're tapping in with the actors, right? You're kind of seeing, how they're emotionally getting into that. On the other side of the camera, though, right, there's also something that you see and that you have to almost pull out of the actors and actresses. Talk to us about kind of the film production hat versus the on the set maneuvering hat, and why you do what you do.
Okay, got you. So what I do is kind of like different from like directing, right? So like the directors I work with now is like fire,
Mm-hmm.
So like my piece of the puzzle, so to speak, would say I just put a bunch of people together that I know that will work well together.
Sure.
So let's just say if I know it's a director that likes to direct a certain kind of way, I attach them with a cinematographer or a director of photography that knows exactly what they're doing, and they could clash together to make the best possible project.
Sure.
In terms of like dealing with different actors and actresses, it's just more so about allowing them to tap into that emotional standpoint that they're
Mm-hmm.
feeling at that present moment. How like what one of my tactics that I do use, let's just say we have like a crying scene or something, even though it might sound a little harsh, but I tell them just to think about something that really bothered you or really hurt you, or someone that actually did something similar to what this person is doing to you now. And that actually, for the last movie, for Double Dinners, that actually brought out a certain character inside of one of the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
actors by
Wow.
name of BJ Simmons.
Awesome. Sean, tell us about Double Dealings. It looks intense. It's kind of a thriller psychoanalysis of what kind of happens with a lot of relationships these days,
Right.
and how we get emotionally attached to certain aspects of the idea of what we think of others. I think that's a good way to put it.
Right.
And with these characters playing these roles, I felt it, right? We've all been in certain precarious relationships, right? Tell us about the film, just about, kind of the plot itself, and then we'll kind of go to where it's going. Go ahead.
Okay, no problem. So the plot for that story is just basically about a young woman who's dealing with a man um, that's kind of lost in a
Yeah.
sense. They're just bringing it back to what we spoke about earlier. Just a man that's lost, and he's looking to find his way within a relationship and outside of the relationship. So they tend to bump heads, and when they bump heads, I can't really give away the twist or spin to it, but
Yeah,
when they
it's
bump
all
heads,
good. It's all good.
yeah, but like when they bump heads, just know that things starts to get batshit crazy.
Right. Right. That shit
So yeah,
crazy.
it gets real intense. So that's where the thriller aspect coming at. Of course, it's going to be very touching to a lot of different people or relationships as well, because a lot
Right.
of people
Right.
that like a lot of people like deal with certain things
Yeah.
that this young woman dealt with. So,
and it's real deal because like I shared, my son's my son's 3, and then my newborn is a couple months here, and the balance that I try to find,
right,
is difficult, right? Like, how can I give to my kids? How can I give to my business? How can I give to my spouse? How can I give to my friends? How can I maintain, the ReVibe Ray persona as a business leader, as an entrepreneur, and everything I want to do there, and still remain, all that I need to be to the whole.
right,
And you're going to bump heads, with people because, you may need to be something to somebody, or, whatever the case may be. But we are not God, right? We are not.
right,
We are not omnipresent. We
right,
cannot be everywhere at once.
right.
And, it goes back to that prioritizing kind of thing. And I think Double Dealings is going to tap into that kind of notion with that male character. So I'm excited to, see how he handles everything, and, how he, says, all right, I'm going to do this, but F it, I'm going like this way, or I'm going gorilla, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm excited to see, how he navigates through that. Very excited for what that project is going to be. Now, I understand you're getting ready to come to Virginia to work on a different project. Is that correct? Or finish up Double Dealings?
Yeah, so I'll be coming back to Virginia to finish up Double Dealing. So instead of it being a short proof of concept, we actually turned it from a short film to a feature film, which is a 90-minute length film.
Perfect. So definitely excited for that. Obviously, ReVibe Nation is going to be there to help and support any way that we can.
I appreciate y'all for that as well.
Yeah,
man.
absolutely. So, Sean, before we get you out of here, and just to kind of wrap up our discussion here, it's a challenge, right, to be in your role in the film industry. I like the fact that you are a person that looks to put people together and in the right moments and happenstances. But a lot of and I'm only saying this because I'm also in a place where I'm looking to get an animated situation off based on the book that I'm writing. Shout out to Pixel Dust TV. Looking forward to working with them on my project. But, so many people out there looking to get into the film industry, and I feel like they get so overwhelmed because it is kind of grandiose when you look at the production costs, when you look at trying to pitch it to these streaming platforms. It's astronomical, in terms of what has to be done just to even get something to be something to present, right? So kind of what has been the struggle with that? What have you found success in? And how has that crafted your decision making moving forward here in this industry?
Got you. So I'll start off with like the struggles of it, right? So the struggles I think that a lot of different filmmakers go through, the same thing that I go through. I think it's just more so about having an actual budget for the entire project.
The financial, it's obvious.
Financial budget, I think that's kind of like tough when it comes to like just wanting to be a creative and getting your work seen and things of that nature. I think it's tough to actually come up with the budget. However, this is what I do, and I would suggest a lot of different filmmakers do as well, especially on the producers end. To partner, instead of saying like I'm gonna just this is just everything mine. I think that is the best thing to do is just partner with different production companies, with different cinematographers, different directors, and to me, like, just don't be stingy with a percentage, right? So let's just say if you're getting 100% of everything, why not give the director 3%, 10%, or whatever it is that you may give someone, So that way they could feel like as if not only are they working on a project, but they also become a part of the project, become a part of the process, become a part of the business aspect of it. And I think that's one of the main things that helped me get over the threshold of making this film that I just created called Double Devils.
That's a beautiful thing, man, because it's, I speak on kind of the collective. I speak on kind of the hive, and I feel like a lot of collectives have kind of evolve into this hive mind mindset, which I really don't believe in. But the collective in this sense makes sense because the different roles that people have to take are not just singular, right?
Right.
Everybody actually has something that they can bring to the table, right? It's key. And it's not just like, oh, we both want to be the same thing. We both are going to achieve the same thing. We both want to be directors. No, it's I'm the director. You're the cinematographer. You're the, sound, audio, visual. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody has a role where now, you can put yourself in the arena and say, I actually made this happen and I contributed this part of the project. So I think that's big, and it speaks volumes on kind of your leadership mindset. Sean Baker, thank you so much for rocking and rolling with me today, man. This has been healthy, man. This has really touched my soul. Thank you, Safren. Thank you, Dusty Rios. My guy, DVC Schmer, will holla at you on the next one. Sorry we couldn't get you in today, but I'll see you soon, and we'll get you on no matter what, brother. So, Sean, before we go, where can people check in with you? Let them know where you're at. Any people that are looking to work with you, how can they get in touch with you?
So on Instagram, I'm Sean V Baker with 2 R's. The best way to contact me is probably through email. So I would say SeanBakerStudios@gmail.com. Just tap in with me there. Twitter is Sean V Baker. And yeah, man, just tap in with me. And I'm always checking my DMs. I'm always checking my emails. So it will never be a situation where you cannot get in touch with me.
Yeah, we'll be sure once we drop the episode, we'll be sure to get your links in there and everything. So, ReVibe Nation, thank you so much for plugging in with us. We are right over an hour. I don't want to keep you guys too long, but this was great information. Effective decision making, guys. Trust yourself. Trust your second heart, your gut, your first heart, your first mind, your heart, mind. Raise your Lucifer up. Get it up through the chakra. Express yourself. Get it out to people. Do it with love. Do it with the right intention. Our Heavenly Father will be working with you. I can promise you that when you go into it with that mindset. ReVibe Nation, we love you guys. Thank you for all that you do in supporting us. And let me just give a quick shout out to the great people that is making ReVibe Nation Podcast happen. Obviously, our good friends over at Allied Title, my guy Mike. Thank you so much. You've been a blessing since day one. Shout out to Americanas Clothing Co. We're doing some great things there. Nick's Sharpening. Thank you, Nick. You're doing a great job, man, and we're going to keep supporting you. And I know you have been supporting us. I'm missing somebody, Sean. Who am I missing? Sean Baker Studios.
Hey,
thank you so much, brother, for looking out for ReVibe Nation and doing all that you have done for us, and will continue to do the same. No, but I really am missing somebody. Old World Woodworking. Old World Woodworking. Thank you for your work, my guy Scott. You're doing a great job. Looking forward to bringing you on. Guys, you're going to be able to check us out here soon at Alice on U Street in Washington, D.C. We're going to be going live, doing some quick interviews out there for our happy hour series, which is going to be a lot of fun. A lot of stuff on the way, ReVibe Nation. We're super happy, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Hey, Sean, let me go ahead and get my outro music going from my man, Mo Sizzle. Man, this is a beautiful thing, man. We got some great stuff going. And ReVibe Nation, we'll see you on the next one, man. Peace. Sean, stay on with me, man.
Got you.
I love you, okay?
Yes, I know all signs are pointing to that. Look, just don't put those kinds of thoughts in my head. Save the I'm sorry speech for the next one you do this to. Nothing hurts more than being disappointed by the one person you thought would never hurt you.